Hey, welcome to Patrick Hyundai. I'm Corey. We're located here on 1020 East Schaumburg Road. This location's been around for about 30 years. And our next installment of our model clinic, I'm going to be introducing the Kona N-Line. The reason why I chose this vehicle specifically is the N-Line is new to this model year. Up until this point, they didn't have the N-Line. The N-Line kind of evolved in the Veloster. It was more of the sporty feel. Now they're taking that and they're putting it in the Kona, Sonata, and more to come as well. So the N-Line, there's a big difference. The N-Line has a certain, it's a fascia, it's more of the way the car looks. There's also an N trim as well. N trim will be a lot more under the hood. More to come on that in the winter time. So a couple things about this vehicle that's really nice. The Kona came out about 2018. It's a crossover utility vehicle. The reason why they have this one is it's designed essentially for the people that want that sporty feel and that like all-wheel drive without the extra space. If you don't need a Tucson or a larger SUV, I just want to get around safe in the Midwest in the wintertime, Kona could be the car for you. What's nice here is they finally redesigned the front end. The front end here, they made the grille a little sharper. They have like the headlights are a little bit sharper. They added a little bit down here with the daytime running lights as well too. This is kind of a signature feature to the N-Line, and they'll see the N-Line badge as well. But also as well too, they have essentially 4 different trims of the Kona. It starts at an SE front-wheel drive around 22,000. Fully loaded, limited all-wheel drive would be around 31,500, depending on the other stuff they throw in, cargo cover, floor mats, that sort of thing. The wheels are a little bigger on this one. They start at 16s for an SE. These ones are 18-inch wheels. They stand out. You can actually decipher a Kona Limited versus an N-Line just based on the wheels alone. They are the same size, but they have a different kind of look to them. This specific Kona N is actually got a tech package. Not all of them do. The tech package gives you better daytime running lights, a digital display, which I'll show you shortly, a sunroof, a couple other things as well too, but this is a fully loaded. If you didn't have that extra tech package, it's about $2 grand less. So these ones go for 31. If it was just an N-Line without, around 29 or just under 30. But yeah, so if you guys want to take a look on the inside, a couple things that they changed about this vehicle is the interior texture. So this is N-Line stitching. This is exclusive to the N-Line. However, one thing I like that they did that they changed on the SC and the SEL is the older models had like a checkered seat. So it'd be like a cloth seat here, and then they have this checkered pattern here. And to be honest, what I got from a lot of the consumers is they didn't like it. It stood out a little bit too much. It was a little bit obtuse, and they finally switched it for the 2022 model where they dropped it as well. They also did change, if you want to look over here, the vents are a little bit more sporty and dynamic. That's not on just the N-Line. That's on all Konas, it's a little bit nicer. So what I'll do is I'll hop in the inside, go over some of the digital stuff, because with these new cars, they have so much more digital stuff that even me, who's, I'm kind of a millennial, I think I'm at the cutoff, I'm still getting a little bit lost in it as well. So follow me. So with the fully loaded tech package, what's really nice about it is they make this whole display digital. So these are turning more and more into spaceships the newer they come. But you'll get your digital speedometer, your RPMs, as well as how much gas is in it, how many miles are on the vehicle. And they make it kind of like a little HUD for everything. So the first one will show you basically your attention level warnings, whether or not your lane keep assist is active. As long as this little white picture of a car here, you'll have your lane keep assist active. And another thing too is if you see this little A circle, now a lot of people aren't really comfortable with it yet, but it's in all SUVs. It's this power on and off switch where basically if you don't want, it keeps your car shut off if you're not using a lot of electronics at brakes, at stops to save gas. And when you take your foot off the brake, the engine re-engages. Essentially, you'll see that now in all new SUVs. It used to be in the bigger ones, and now it's in everything. What did I say? Also, too, you'll have everything. They'll have like a digital parking brake. What I see with other people is you have to make sure you're engaging that it's on or off. Sometimes if you throw into park too quickly as a safety feature, they'll have this brake engage, and people freak out. It happens a lot more with the push buttons, but it still is a common thing with regular shifters as well. If you go over, I use this clipboard as your kind of your tool for anything you need in the center. It'll give you basically your trips if you need to. It'll show you your north, south, east, and west, and whether or not you're all-wheel drive, your tire pressure, and everything else is astute. This is an all-wheel drive vehicle. You can get the Kona in front or all-wheel drive. It just depends, and you can have an all-wheel drive lock button, so similar to like a Subaru, it's all-wheel drive all the time. The difference in price, generally Hyundai's uniform. If you need all-wheel drive, it's usually $1,400 more than a front-wheel drive. But in the wintertime, people in Chicago prefer the all-wheel drive. The digital you'll have with your climate controls, these new windshields are very, very sensitive. A lot of people downplay the importance of simple stuff, and that's what's nice about Hyundai is they give you a very comprehensive bumper-to-bumper, which covers a lot of these electronics here. But the way these windows are is, depending on what side the sun is beaming, it knows when to blow how much air. If it's hotter on this side of the cabin than the other side, it will adjust the basically adjust the temperatures to adjust for the heat coming in from the sun. Moving on to our like entertainment center, these become like cell phones essentially. They're throwing in so much stuff that you almost have to kind of train yourself on how everything changes. Like if you get like a tech package N line, they'll give you like built-in navigation. Now with these cars, there's more than like one type of navigation. You can get the built-in navigation through Hyundai. Obviously, you can program and save whatever destinations you want. It gives you points of interest. Also, with these new cars, every car has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's a handy-dandy feature. Basically, it pairs up your phone so you can use your Google Maps, Waze, or anything of that nature. All your safety features now, they have moved from the center console when you get to a higher level trim to basically this bigger dash. You go to setup and you can go to vehicles, and what you'll see with the vehicle, essentially you can, any sort of safety feature you want, you can turn on and off. Some people don't like that big brother thing, and they want to be in complete control of their vehicle. So you can even go down to forward safety. You can have it on. You can say, hey, I want to be able to crash my car, and you can shut that off. So now the car will crash. Not say it will crash. I'm saying if you don't stop, the car won't engage on the driver assistance to stop the car in front of you. And when any sort of safety feature you're turning on and off, it will show you on your digital display whether or not it's on. So now it says, hey, your forward collision monitoring is off. So it's not going to engage the brake for you if you're not paying attention. What's nice though, with any Kona, SEL and above, you get all your safety features. You'll get your blind spot indicators right here. So basically they turn on yellow if somebody's in your blind spot. And then if you try to put your signal on, there's something there, it'll beep and turn yellow for you. It's got your forward collision monitoring. So what that thing I just turned off, and then turned back on again is this car is, if you're not paying attention and you're driving, the car in front of you, it'll beep. If you're not slowing down, it'll engage the brake for you if you're not paying attention. It's never a feature I like to test out. I've had the fortune of it engaging twice in the vehicle. Both times it engaged, it worked perfectly, but always exercise caution when driving. Perhaps stop when the car in front of you also stops to avoid accidents and that such. But this will have your adaptive cruise control. These things, the newer they are, the more and more it does stuff for you. You kind of become almost a lazy driver because it does better with the safety features than with you paying attention. For example, when you have the backup camera, let me show you here. There's traction lines so you can see where your vehicle lines up. 1 foot, 3 feet, 5 feet, and you can see where your trajectory is. What's nice about the blind spot indicators is I can only see this, and I can turn my head and look the best I can, but with the blind spot indicators, it's got a wider range. So when cars are coming behind you, it'll brake, it'll beep at you, and if you're not slowing down, it'll engage so you don't back into a car coming behind you, to save you the efforts of fender benders and parking lots and that sort of situation. Now this vehicle is, like I said, it's got the tech package N line, so it's got a nicer sound system. And then now too, they give you the sounds of nature with the higher end trim. So if you want to take a nap while you sit behind the wheel, you got the lively forest or wherever you like in that sort of situation. Yeah, of course when the car's parked. You don't want to be falling asleep at the wheel. We encourage active, safe drivers. Hyundai safety first. We're not, always exercise caution when driving. But yeah, it's got a nicer sound system. The radio is a little bit, it's still easier to get into than some vehicles. The way it goes is now to set your like presets. Let's just say you're a big fan of Dave Matthews Band. If you're a Dave slave, you can go ahead and to save this station 34, you just hit the little star button and it saves all of your presets. If there's ever something you don't like, you just take the star off. I believe that gives you about 20 to 30 presets, so choose wisely. You don't have, I don't think you get like 500 presets. I think they cap you at like 40. But yeah, everything's really easy. And now with these newer vehicles, they have this feature on all the SUVs. It started with the Palisade, but now they'll have what's called like quiet mode, where it pulls all the sound. So hypothetically, if you're doing like a road trip with people in the back and they're sleeping and you're listening to a podcast or whatever, you can pull all the sound to the front so you're not disrupting the people sleeping in the back. You can always do that manually through like the audio settings as well too. As well with the everything set up, it's hands-free. So obviously this is not new to technology, but if you need to make a phone call, you can answer it here, hang up, that sort of thing over there. And yeah, this basically, they've changed a lot of stuff aside. Now they also have wireless chargers. And the one thing to keep in mind with the wireless charging device is it's a supercharger. So this is gonna, once you have the little orange light lighting up, it's going to engage and it charges fast. So be cautious. If you have a full battery, don't leave it in the charger. It'll heat up your phone. It's a supercharger, so it will charge faster than a regular plug-in you have like at an outlet or any sorts. Yeah, with the tech package, you'll get this at the SEL Plus and above, but with the tech package you get a sunroof. A couple things now too. Hyundai, if you're not familiar with the warranty, it's a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain, 5 years roadside assistance. So when you have like the SOS button, there's also a phone number in the back here. And basically what that'll do is that it's basically built-in AAA. So that covers under all brand new Hyundais for the first 5 years. It has your home link button to get you home quicker. And all these cars, it's not with luxury cars anymore. It's on a lot of new cars. They have like remote start. It's a subscription service through Hyundai, but in the first 3 years, kind of aligned with a lease, it's basically free. So you have remote start, and I lost the keys of the vehicle, but you'll have remote start on the fob. So you have remote start no matter what. But with Blue Link, it's essentially an app through Hyundai. So you basically, your VIN number is paired to a satellite, and so you can start your car from wherever. So if you're in a mall or if you're in an area, you can essentially start your car. I drive an Elantra, but if you had a Kona, it would show you your Kona right here. You can lock your, like I'm a little bit OCD, so I don't know if my doors are locked, so I can lock it from where I'm at. And this works via satellite, so you don't have to be next to your car. It also is paired up, so I can see my diagnostics if I need anything. See, my car was unlocked. So a couple features like that. Blue Link's exclusive with higher end Hyundais. If it's not a base model, if it's a push button start, a lot of them are coming more and more equipped with Blue Link, and that's complimentary for 3 years, also in line with the complimentary maintenance. So this is the first of the N line for Konas. A couple of things that are nicer. If you can see, they have like the kind of like the more sporty brake and gas pedal, a little bit nicer stitching, and they have the N line stitching fascia around the entire vehicle. So coming up soon, there will be an N. I don't have that out yet, so I don't have all the news. This one, like I said, is they keep the same kind of engine as basically as a Limited. So it's going to give you a 1.6 turbo engine, similar to the Limited. So it's not going to be the same engine as the N coming out, but still it's turboed. You'll get, essentially with a car like this, you get roughly combined about 30 miles to the gallon. So it does well. Yeah, like I said, and they have a 10-year powertrain, so you don't have anything to worry about engine related for the first 10 years. So that's about all I got for you guys. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Model Clinic. You can shut that, and I got it. All right, thanks guys. I'm Corey, come buy a car for me.